morning ride, it's time to look at our dailies. You can also grab a copy of any paper you find interesting to peruse further. Our first paper is the Vanguard. The screaming story on the Vanguard newspaper says U.S. seizes Nigerian-owned super tank over alleged crude theft. U.S. seizes Nigerian-owned super tank over alleged crude theft. Details on page 5. And we have Dangote unveils 1 trillion naira scholarship scheme for 1.3 million students. Dangote unveils 1 trillion naira scholarship schemes for 1.3 million students. Details you can find on page 20. And then we have FCCPC seals IKEDC office over violation of customers' rights. Details on page 20. Bayelsa Deputy Governor slumps and dies at 60. Oh, that's so sad. May he so rest in peace. And that's on page 12. On page 7, under the ambassadorial appointment, drama as Senate clears Fani Kayode and others. On page 34, we have Tinubu hails Uzodimma as true, progressive, dependable ally. Alright, on page 9, we have Tinubu forwards 2026-2028 MTEF/FSP to Senate. You want to know what that means? Grab a copy of the Vanguard newspaper. And the rider under the screaming story says it shows weakness in our port state control regime. And this is according to Oladiyan. And that's it on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And next paper is the New Telegraph. The head story says Oshomole Ndume clash as Senate clears Omokri, Fani Kayode, Ikpeazu, ex-INEC chair, amongst others. Details on page 3. And the top strip says, third quarter 25, oil sustains exports dominance, up 56% to 12.81 trillion naira. Nigeria drops 9 places in where to invest in Africa rankings. Details on page 25. Tinubu sees 6 NAS approval for 2026-2028 MTEEF. Rider says wants expenditure action. Details on page 3. On page 6 and 28, reps urge FG to prioritize forex allocation to airlines. And we have excessive pricing threats to 30 December viability. And that's the rider to that story. On page 7 and 28, President's anti-corruption fight now political. Witch hunt. This is according to Atiku. President's anti-corruption fight now political witch hunt. All right. Let's see other stories. We have prioritize alteration bills. No plan to rename Nigeria. United States of Nigeria. This is according to Reps. Says Remi Tinubu only lobbied NAS on women bill. Trump launches $1 million gold card immigration visa. PDP mourns as Bayelsa deputy governor slumps and dies. Details on page 2. Alright, let's see other stories. We have research discovers rising temperatures linked to poor sleep. That's on 28, so you better sleep well. When sleep comes, please take it. And we have Nigeria, poor internet connectivity, election's biggest challenge. This according to INEC. And I hope it's sorted out before the 2027 election so we don't have such problems. And that's it on the New Telegraph. The Nation is our next paper for review. Bayelsa Deputy Governor dies at 60. Meta crisis. FCCPC seals Ikeja Electric Headquarters. Details on page 7. On pages 4 and... Okay, on page 4, Rivers lawmakers fault Fubara's claim on peace meeting. EFCC to arraign Ngige today for alleged contract fraud. Fani Kayode, Omokri, Yakubu, Ugwuanyi, Ikpeazu, others get Senate panel's nod. And this is on page 3. Ahead story says, our challenges going into 2027 polls by INEC chair. Writer says, Amopitan decries low voter turnout, converses upgrading of communications infrastructure. And we have a photo speak there. Vice President Shetima inaugurates 1 trillion naira Dangote Education Fund. That's the picture there where they are cutting the ribbon. There are details on page 2. First Lady, let's identify with less privileged. That will be a good one. And I think there's a photo speak there as well, where they are celebrating the Christmas season with the children. And that's it on the Nation paper. The Punch is next for review. Insecurity. FG approves 94,000 new enlistments. FG approved 94,000 new enlistments. Rider says police set to take 50,000, ministry fast tracks 30,000 paramilitary enlistments, army eyes 14,000 fresh soldiers. Experts weigh in. Local refining boom slashes petrol imports by 6 trillion naira. Details on page 19. On page 2, Fubara pushing Rivers toward fresh crisis, says Speaker. Oyinlola blames Tinubu for PDP crisis, and this is on page 27. Ex-AGF Malami spends fortnight with EFCC, and that's on 29. South governors, PDP mourn Bayelsa Deputy Governor's death. On insecurity, investment in surveillance paying off, says Sanwo-Olu. Right, and that's it. Okay, we have another story, Nigerian killings. U.S. officials prepare high-level briefing for Trump. All right, that's it on the Punch newspaper. Let's look at the Guardian newspaper. Pricing, weak tourism infrastructure threaten $2 billion Dirty December target. And that's on the Guardian newspaper. Details on page 6. The top story says, Ambassadors Ndume Oshomole clash at screening as Omokri others take bow. Details on page 3. Page 5 says Ikeja Electric protests as FCCPC seals office over defiance of NEC order. Poor network, INEC's toughest challenge in IREV upload, says Amopitan. Dangote launches 1 trillion naira education fund to support 1.3 million students. Details on page 28. And we have budget turmoil deepens as Tinubu prepares 2026 estimates ahead of MTEF approval. Sanwo-Olu reaffirms LASG's commitment to protection of lives and property. You can find the details of that story on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. Our next story, the next paper is This Day newspaper. This Day newspaper. So let's look at the screaming story. In historic move, FG unveils Nigeria's gas trading payment system. The writer says, platform to ensure transparent, competitive market. Ribadu says illegal refining networks dismantled. SEC describes event as monumental shift from physical market. Remi Tinubu, cut my husband some slack. We are working hard to keep Nigeria safe. Right? And this according to Deji Elum Oye in Abuja. It says First Lady Oluremi Tinubu yesterday appealed to Nigeria to take it easy with her husband, President Tinubu. All right, saying his, all right, let's keep going. Citing long-term opportunities, PZ Kusans stops plan to sell its units in Nigeria. Others. Okay, Sanwo-Olu reaffirms his administration's commitment to protect lives and properties. Details on page 32. Our next paper is the Nigerian Tribune. Rex asked FG to prioritize forex allocation to airline operators. Rider says call for 50% reduction in cost of tickets during Yuletide. Details on page 7. The top strip will have Oshomole Ndume clash as Senate screens Reno Omokri. Others. Details on page 5. And the writer says ambassadorial nominees enjoy bow and go privilege. PDP, Ogun, Adamawa governors mourn as Bayelsa deputy governor dies. Details on page 2. Awujale throne. Fusembuwa, ruling house disowns Kwam 1. Writer says you are not one of us. Family says. Details on page 2. Dangote unveils 1 trillion naira scholarship scheme for 1.3 million Nigerian students. Enugu government earmarks 10 billion naira for phase 1 of 135.4 kilometer rail project. Details on page 22. Catholic priest tells court how terrorists bombed our church. Details on page 2. So you can grab a copy to find the details of that story. Okay, and so that's all we have for your viewing pleasure today on Papers. You can grab a copy of any of the dailies you find interesting and peruse further on each story. We'll go on a very quick break and when we return, it's time for our next sport.
Alpha Delta people, in less than 22 months, Governor Borowori don show say im promise not be plenty talk with the full basket, not be cho with a more agenda, meaningful development, opportunity for all, realistic reforms, and enhanced peace and security. Progress don burst out everywhere. Im don upgrade over 500 roads, initiate over 300 new ones, and build plenty bridges wey dey connect our communities.
Every day when I dey reach here, my spirit dey jump, my morale dey high because this bridge never tell for worry. This sheriff talk well. Julius Berger is the high. Sheriff, yes.
For education, over 3,000 teachers and support staff don join. and schools don dey get better shine.
I really want to say the government have done a good job providing us with these new buildings because we lack lecture halls. We are grateful to the government.
For the health sector, 1 billion naira, you dey hear wetin I dey talk? 1 billion naira don burst out our health insurance. Hospitals don dey get better modern equipment and new health colleges don open. Every day, changes dey happen for Delta State. For agriculture, 1 billion naira intervention fund dey help our farmers to produce better food. Make we not begin to dey talk about empowerment sef wey dey sup for the state. Sheriff don touch over 250,000 lives for the state.
Our administration is fully committed to what government expected to do for its people, which is to empower them to overcome the challenges of life and enable them to achieve their full means of happiness.
Everybody no go lack for his life, his generation no go lack. As he remember me, remember my daughter today, make God remember her.
Servant also dey enjoy support, and for our security agencies, they don get 66 security vehicles when our governor don say make e enter the road, make e protect people for the street.
Thank you for the support that you have been giving to the police command and other security agencies in the state.
Nkodo just dey go around every sector to make sure say everywhere palash. Make una know say this one na proof say Governor Oborevwori dey talk the talk, he dey do the work, and na man wey dey win award sef up and down.
We are giving you these awards as the most all-inclusive governor of the year 2025.
This na say im dey bring hope and progress for every corner for Delta State. Make we join hand celebrate our leader wey truly dey make Delta State dey shine. The work never finish o, we go continue to dey do more.
Friday's edition of the program Morning Ride, and we have been having several conversations from health to the state of the state via the Star Report of the Week, and now let's look at business and how you can grow. Today we're thrilled to welcome a dynamic expert in the world of media, business, consulting and digital transformation to the Morning Ride show. Funmilayo Anthony Mordi is a seasoned media and business consultant with an impressive background in communication, advertising, and public relations, holding a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Studies and a postgraduate certification in business management. Anthonia's knowledge is as vast as it is impactful, with a passion for helping businesses to thrive in today's fast-paced digital landscape. She guides both startups and established brands through strategic branding, customer engagement, and digital transformation. Our expertise focuses on not just the aesthetic side of business, but also creating meaningful, action-driven experiences that truly resonate with target audiences. As a strong advocate for research-driven strategies, Funmilayo emphasizes the power of understanding customer behavior, market segmentation, and the strategic use of social media. Her insights, often shared on LinkedIn and Instagram, inspire business owners, especially the youth of Delta State, to harness modern advertising tools to elevate their businesses. Funmilayo's approach to business consulting blends creativity with analytical precision, helping companies exceed their objectives through informed, intentional decision-making. Her work empowers youth businesses in Delta State to adapt and grow in the digital space. Please, let's make welcome Funmilayo Anthony Mordi to Morning Ride, Friday's edition.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you right here. You know, the bio sometimes can be so heavy that we expect to see a giant. Like, but you've done a whole lot, and our conversation this morning is on advertising. Swipe, scroll, sell, advertising, empowering Delta State and the youths precisely. Do you think that Deltans have really keyed into the strength of advertising and making their businesses to grow and glow?
I think that advertising is still something that a lot of people are still trying to grasp. You know, a lot of people are still trying to understand, you know, what, you know, the layman on the street or the businessman in Onitsha main market or in Ogbogonogo market, you know, that is the average sort of, I won't say level, but I would say a lot of people in Delta State are still trying to understand, you know, why it's important to advertise, why it's important to market your business. I think the average person is still trying to grasp the concept of advertising. That's, yeah, they're still trying to grasp it.
All right. From Naya, when you look at the modern way of advertising as opposed to how advertising was done those days, how would you say that the youth in Delta State have taken it so far? Have they like balanced or gotten used to the modern way of advertising, or are they still advertising like it used to be?
So I would say the youths are really getting a hold of it, you know, like the older ones are, you know, sort of still trying to understand it, but the youths are really getting a hold of it. I could see a lot of youths, you know, being on social media these days, you know, taking advantage of Instagram, Facebook, you know, Twitter, and TikTok. TikTok is very, very prevalent among the young ones too. Yeah, I could see a lot of people, a lot of youths, you know, taking at it, and that's really good. But it now boils down to about, you know, making posts every day. It's about you really understanding. A lot of times, you know, when people are having these conversations and they say, you know, we have to be on social media. Social media is the in thing and all of those things. And I tell people when I have conversations with other business people, I tell them, like, you must understand your target audience. You must know who your target audience are. You can't be on Facebook and Instagram and you're targeting those in their 60s. You will never find those people there. Okay. Yes, you can find some older people on Facebook, but you know, you can't find the older very older ones on TikTok and stuff like that. But in essence is that I think, you know, I would say it's not about posting, it's about understanding who your target audience are. And when you understand your target audience, who they are, then you can actually do the right kind of advertising and marketing.
You said something about understanding your target audience, that it is when you understand your target audience that you will know the appropriate media or medium that is suitable for you to pass your message across.
Yes.
So the next question is now, what makes digital marketing more effective when it comes to getting or passing your message across to your target audience?
So digital marketing is, you know, digital marketing is a lot. So we have the SEOs. When I mean SEOs means search engine optimization. So that simply means that people are able to find you easily on Google. So when you create your website, and when you create your website is able to, you're putting keywords there, and so you put in keywords, and when they're searching for you, they find you easily and stuff like that, and things sell. Then also you now have the other aspect of where you have Instagram, and where you have Facebook, and where you have, you know, the emails and all of those things. So I would say that the digital, you have to first of all, you have to know what you want. You know, as a marketer, you have to, and I always tell businesses is that you have to come to the point, first of all, when you know what you're selling, like when you understand your product and know who your product is for. You have to know who your product is for. Then the digital space will be able to help you. So if you don't know your product very well, and you don't know who you're selling it to, those are two most important questions. Who you're selling it to, what your product is all about. Those two things, when you know those two things, then you can be able to target properly. Without proper understanding of who you're selling to, of what your product is all about, you will end up making lots of mistakes. You end up using the wrong channel. You will end up not, properly hitting your targets. So it's the digital space can only help you if you really understand what you're doing, what you're all about.
Okay, let's talk about evidence. People love evidence. When they hear about these things, it sounds very Greek, Arabic, or Latin to them. Or do they hear about actual cases where advertising made a difference, either putting monies in pockets and bank accounts or helping one's business to thrive? However it is, they want to understand real cases. Are there some real cases you've seen in Nigeria? Because I know you've done a lot of studying outside the country. You've seen in Nigeria that Nigerians have embraced without even knowing that advertising was all that made this different, that you can share with us this morning on the ride.
Like, I would say that, for example, a program like Big Brother. Big Brother. I don't know whether that example, like
okay,
a lot of
you want to get example clearly.
So
whatever example that works.
A program like Big Brother Africa, Big Brother Nigeria. You see a lot of. So they have a marketing team, and obviously, and so they put out so before even Big Brother starts, you start hearing things on social media. You start seeing posts on social media, different people from other blogs, taking those posts and posting them and talking about it, making people know that it's time for Big Brother. So it's sometimes people expect results almost immediately. So advertising takes time.
It does.
It takes time. So when you plant the seed, you have to wait for it to germinate. You have to wait for it, because advertising is just like planting a seed. You have to water it, you have to be consistent, you have to do it, put in the work. And so when people want to get their results almost immediately, advertising is a long-term thing. It's a long-term thing. So I would say that there are lots of evidence everywhere. There's Coca-Cola. There's Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has taken advantage of the fact that it's they sharing happiness, and so, like I would say, Coca-Cola understands their brand, and their brand promise is that they want to be able to share happiness, like people sharing together, sharing a meal together with a bottle of Coke. So that bring what I was saying the other time was that if you understand your business, if you understand what you're all about, if you understand if you've done enough research, understand what your product is all about, understand who you're targeting, then you're now able to craft something that would appeal to the audience, and then you can get your result even faster than normal.
Okay.
Faster than
Okay, so apart from audience appeal,
yes.
Now, how do you, because you said something that in order for me to make good sales, I need to have an understanding of what I want to produce,
yes.
my target audience. So how do I get people to patronize me and get this product? as opposed to the major challenge that everybody or most people in Nigeria is facing today, which is the problem of survival. So how do we expect them to key into this, patronize this, and then get these products with the major challenge of survival lurking around?
Okay, so I would say that one of the things that we need to harness more in Nigeria is excellent customer service. You know, to be able to talk to people politely, to be able to have, you know, I was making a post the other day on Instagram, and I said, you go into a store and the person opens the door. I'm going to give you an illustration and you tell me whether you like this or not. You go into a store and the person opens the door for you with a genuine smile, and they help you take your bag. They offer you a seat. They offer you a glass of champagne. And when they offer you all of this, then they help you with a cart to help you pick up the things you want to buy, and then help you put on, maybe you purchased a shoe, and they help you put on the shoe, and they ask you questions if you're okay and all of those things. They help you pack your stuff and take it to the car. Now, that type of experience that you have gotten, won't you want to come back to that type of restaurant?
Definitely.
Or come back to, you want to come back. So in essence is that we need to start harnessing we need to start taking customer service seriously. You know, appreciating people, talking to people politely, not getting angry. Because I see a lot of Nigerians, I see a lot of people who do businesses always upset. Like, they're just upset. They're just, when you're asking just a regular question, they just get upset. They don't want to answer your question, or they think you're asking too many questions.
Maybe because it's not been paid properly.
Upset or frustrated?
Okay, so
maybe because it's not paid properly, so they get frustrated, like perpetual is stressing.
Yeah, we could say. So the thing is that the only way that you can get, like, you have to get enough customers in order to be paid. So if you keep treating your customers in a condescending way, in a bad way, you end up losing that job. You end up not even having any job at all. You understand? So we have to, you know, try to, I know it's, you know, the economy and all of those things, but we have to try to treat people right, treat our customers right. And the next point I would say is that we also have to make excellent products. So the other day I bought a drink and they said no sugar. But it wasn't true. Like, it still contains sugar. So in essence, will I go back to buy that product again? No.
So in essence, advertising is not trying to lie, because I know that many companies, any brands in their bid to advertise, they distort the story. They tell a little lie. They add little sugar and tell you there are no sugars inside this particular drink.
And the thing is that when you lie, that would when people now come to you and you don't offer what they want, you're going to lose those customers.
It's going to take a little while, but you lose the customers.
You lose those customers. You lose them. You lose them. So that's the thing, is we have to start creating excellent products and, you know, doing proper marketing.
Antonia, from there more to your time is almost up already on the show. But before we let you go, I think we might do one question each. My question now is a very practical question.
Okay.
And because you're a business consultant, an advertising expert, a media expert as well, consultant as well. So I want you to advertise Morning Ride, Friday's edition, for us, for our viewers to see. Very practical. What would you do to advertise this and turn this into a bigger brand than what we have seen from channels, Rise, CNN, BBC, and other competitors out there who might not be able to fight right now?
First of all, I have to understand the concept. First of all, I have to sit with the management or sit with you or those in charge and understand the concept behind Morning Ride.
Breakfast show.
So it's a breakfast show. Okay, that's a breakfast show. And I have to also understand the fact, yes, it's a breakfast show. What are the different type of segments that you have? So I have to understand, yes, it's a breakfast show. So is it a breakfast show that sort of, has has different segments, right?
Yes.
It has different segments for any media house. It would be to be available to lots of people, reach lots of people. And I would say the breakfast show, it's, if you are not on social media, that's another thing, and have your own chat, your own Instagram, Facebook, and all of those things.
We're on track then.
And then spread the word, talk about it, tell your viewers, or advertise it, and also spend time to advertise it on radio and tell people, tune in. Morning Ride is so advertising it on radio, and making lots of noise about it, and inviting guests that people love.
Okay.
So for example, you can decide to invite someone like Destiny Etiko, and then she talks about it, and also a flyer can be created and she talks about it on her page. And guess what? People are going to get influencers to talk about it. Influencers, people like actresses, actors, influencers. Invite them.
All right, cut. We are done. We're turning off the mic. Thank you so much, yes. Anthony Amodi.
Yes,
we had more questions to go, but we know you would turn this to a class because she's a media consultant, she's a business consultant as well, and she is an advertising expert. Thank you. It's been so much. We should pay you for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Morning Ride continues. When we come back, we shall look at health. I told you we're going all round. Politics, our environment, our business. Next will be about health. Stay with us.
celebrated when I opened here on our national celebration. We celebrated the Universal Health Coverage Day. Universal Health Coverage Day, and I said we're going to have a doctor come by to explain further what the day means. And so today, join me as I welcome Dr. Amadike Precious Ngozi. She is here. She works with the FMC, Federal Medical Center, here in Asaba. Good morning, doctor. Good to have you.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yes, and so our doctor graduated from the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Anambra State, and it is commonly known as the Anambra State University. And she's also the CEO of Fresh Measure Medical Equipment. And today we're going to be looking at the